Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome back to the channel. Mantle Productions here, or Peter Mathis. You see me this evening flying on the daytime hours on VATSIM. We're here at Bristol. I decided to jump in again at Bristol because we've got some really nice ATC online. We've got some Bristol ATC and we've got some Gloucester ATC. So what I decided to do, I would take off from Bristol. I would fly to Gloucester, do a overhead join and a touch and go, and then depart and then finish by landing back at Welshpool, which is where we came from in the previous video. So it's essentially it's a return to Welshpool with a fun little overhead join / touch and go at Gloucester. So a viewer of my previous video asked if I could do an overhead join next time, so hopefully this video is going to be it. So let me just see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 A320s. Yeah, we have 4 A320s on the ground moving around at Bristol at the moment with... No, that's not an inbound, okay. So we have a little bit of a busy day today, which is kind of cool. Let us set up flight planning first. You can see us on the ground here. I have created a bit of a flight plan. I'm going to go outbound VFR up to no higher than 4,000 feet with a VFR point of Chippenham, or Chippenham. Chippenham, I believe it would be the southern pronunciation of that word, Chippenham. Or Chippenham, and then from there turn directly north to Aston Down, and then report upon arrival at Aston Down to Gloucester, and then see if I can get an overhead join. I believe it's going to be runway 0. Let me see, what runway is that going to be? That's going to be either runway 04 or 09. I'm going to do a touch and go, and then I'm going to go blah, blah, blah. Going to go outbound from Gloucester northwest up to Shobdon, which is the ADF frequency that we used on the flight down here, and then from there inbound to Welshpool, where we have a DME and an ADF, but not a VOR. So that's going to be another interesting navigation point. Despite the fact we're flying VFR, we can always use those nav points as a reference. So. I see a Cherokee in the pattern, do I? Interesting. There's a Cherokee back behind me somewhere. Anyway. Let's jump in the aircraft. So since the previous video, which wasn't that long ago, I have installed the, let me get this right, the sound pack for this aircraft from the Orbeck store. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of sounds we get. So after just going over that flight plan with you, I am going to pause track IR, potentially watch that. Yeah, we're going to watch that. I'm going to watch that guy as he takes off. I'll just move the camera like so. Right, so flight plan. Essentially, actually, we're going to swap around. We're going to go EGGD to EGCW. The alternate airport we're going to have is, let me see, I could go Carnarvon, actually. That would be quite nice to have that as an alternate. So let's go Echo Golf Charlie Kilo. Departure time is 1944 Zulu at the moment, so let's say 2000 Zulu. Flight time, it's about 100 nautical miles, so let's say an hour. And we have more than enough fuel. We're going to be going up to 4,000 feet today. Route is going to be EGGD, and then direct to Aston Down, direct to EGBJ, touch and go, direct to Sierra Hotel, and then direct to EGCW. Flying VFR. That's pretty much all I feel like I need to say. Oh, there's the... Oh, it's... Oh, hello. How is that... I was not aware that KLM fly the Airbus Neo. But there we go. And there's another EasyJet. There's an EasyJet A320 on departure as well. So let me get that traffic as it goes out. So that's going to be the flight plan. Let's go file flight plan. So, first thing we need to listen to is ATIS. So let's get ATIS stacked in. First things first, let's go down to the aircraft. My parking brake should be on. In fact, I've got tie downs, so that's not a problem. Let's go with the battery on to begin with. I think I turned the aircraft... Did I turn the aircraft audio down? Yes, I probably did. There we go. Let's turn the avionics on. There we go. Right. Realism on. Engine gauge. Okay, because this is a brand new aircraft, or it should be. No 1.1 apparently. Realism on. Okay, wheel chocks, pitot cover, cowl plugs, tie downs. State saving on. And there we go. So that is the pre-flight in the essence of taking off the 3D items. Oh no, that EasyJet is still... Oh, and we've got a contrail there as well. Okay, so we've set up our aircraft to an extent. Let's just get things sorted. Let's go to my before start. Let's go pre-flight checklist. Pre-flight checklist. Aircraft documents okay. Weather suitable. Baggage weighed, stowed, and secured. So for weight and balance, let's just do a quick. We've got 50% fuel. So half the tanks. Let's actually give ourselves 80% fuel on either side. And then the payload is just the pilot and the co-pilot. So, not terribly worried about that. Okay, weight and CG has been checked. Navigation has been planned. Charts and nav aids, they are good to go. Performance has been determined. VOR log, or that's in quotes IFR, so we're not worrying with that, is checked. So that's pre-flight done. So, interior. Oh, crap. Hello. The aircraft just started moving there, despite the fact I had my parking brake on. I think the wind just had a particularly bad gust. Oh, there's that EasyJet taking off. But you didn't come here to watch those. No, you didn't. Right. Let's keep this show on the road. It's 0 Celsius outside, so it's going to be cold today. Pilot operating handbook should be on the plane. Control lock remove. Yes, the control lock is removed. Avionics off. Electrical switches off. All the circuit breakers are in. Electrical switches off. Mixture. ICO. I don't quite... Cutoff. ICO. I think that stands for cutoff. So master switch on. Yeah, which we've done. Fuel quantity, check. So let's check both sides. We should have, yeah, 80% roughly on either side. That's correct. Lights, night, check. We're in daytime. Flaps down, check. Okay, flaps are good. Master switch, off. Fuel quantity, check. Yep, 0. Flight controls, check. So let's just check those. Yep, looking good. You can hear that battery power spooling down. That's really cool. Fuel shut-off needs to be on. So pull to be off, push to be on. Okay. Fuel selector should be on both. Set. Trim should be on neutral, which it is. Windows, check that they are clean, apparently. So, let's go and roll to the before start checklist. Pre-flight has been completed. Passenger briefing has been completed. Cabin doors are closed. Seats adjusted and locked. Belts and harnesses secure. Circuit breakers have been in. We have checked that. All switches off. Brake set and test. Flaps are up. That is the before start checklist complete. So now before we start the engine, I want to grab ATIS. So let's turn on the electricity and wait for our, hopefully wait for our, there we go, Garmin's to spool up. And we will tune ATIS and listen to ATIS. And then we'll go from there. So, Bristol ATIS. Tower ATIS. Bristol is 126.03. So we will tune that as soon as that comes up. Come on. We'll put the transponder on standby. Let's press OK. OK. I don't really know what that does or that means. I don't care. I hate these things. I want to be on VLOC and I want my frequencies. Set full fuel. No, go to checklists. OK. OK, right. That looks relatively nav. I am... Okay. I forgot how to go back. I just want the map. Okay, screw that. Never mind. So, I'm just going to ignore that for the moment because we're not going to use the stupid things anyway. We're going to go Bristol ATIS 126.03. That's a problem. Okay, ladies and gents, so rather than run around like a headless chicken, I'm just going to take the text-based ATIS and then I'm going to tune the approach frequency, which I can do on this autopilot. I'm just not going to spend time worrying about that right now. So the Bristol ATIS is Bristol Information, acknowledged receipt of information Foxtrot. So it's going to be Foxtrot. And advise aircraft type on first contact. Time 1920. Automatic runway in use 09. Transitional flight level is 70. which we're not going to really need. Surface wind is 050, 15 knots, visibility 10 nautical miles or more. No cloud detected, temperature 0, dew point -6, QNH 1029. QNH 1029. Departing aircraft make initial contact on frequency 133.850. What is that? Uh, 133.850. That must be an old ATIS. That must be a typo because there is no frequency that's 133.85 on this entire server right now. So I'm going to ignore that. Okay. So with that being said, it's information Foxtrot QNH 1029er. And aircraft type is a Cessna 172, looking for a VFR outbound as filed. So, let's go over to the tower, the radar, and see what's going on. Just double check that everything is happening and we're still online. Let's just refresh SimAware. Yep. 10256. Oh, hang on. Bristol radar. Did I get that wrong?
Easy 55 Hotel, descent to altitude 2,500 feet.
Bristol radar, I should be 125.65.
Hey, 55 Bravo, leaving control airspace,
Yes,
basic
correct.
service for Cardiff, Squawk 3611.
Roger, leaving control airspace, basic service for Cardiff, Squawk 3611, 8955 Bravo.
He's quite loud. Let me turn him down. Or let me just...
Easy 55 Hotel, turn right heading 060 degrees, cleared ILS approach, runway 09.
Right heading 060, 09, easy 55 Hotel.
Line 55 Bravo, contact Cardiff radar 119.155, they have your details.
Well, I don't know why he's so
Roger,
loud.
thank you very much. Contact Cardiff radar 119.155. Thanks again, airline 55 Bravo.
But I've turned him down now, I hope. So, having done that, we will give our initial call and request push and start. Well, request our flight plan and then push and start. So, Bristol approach, good evening. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you on the ground.
Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, frequency 133.850 for initial contact, please.
Wilco. Okay, so he's asked for that, despite the fact I can't see that on frequency. 133.85, okay. $133.85. I can't see that frequency anywhere on VATSIM active right now, but interesting. Bristol Radar, good evening. Golf Foxtrot Romeo back with you. Sorry, I didn't tune this first. I couldn't see this as an active frequency online. So, Golf Foxtrot Romeo has information Foxtrot, aircraft type Cessna 172, requesting VFR as filed with information Fox QNH 1029er.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, report ready for engine start.
And we are ready for engine start, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, engine start is approved, report ready for taxi.
Engine start approved, report ready for taxi, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so let's get the engine started finally. Sorry about that, guys, but sometimes not sometimes, all the time, my videos do run on a bit. So, start checklist. Throttles, full. Mixture, rich. Master switch on, flaps up, beacon on. Let's turn on the beacon. Boost pumps on for 3 seconds. And let's watch the fuel flow. 1, 2, 3. And off. Mixture, idle cutoff.
Evening, Speedbird 441 with you, inbound to Conquer.
Throttle, inch and a half.
Smooth 441, Bristol Radar, good evening, vector towards the ILS runway 13.
Starter engage and mixture rich when running.
Runway 12.
Clear prop.
Clear prop.
There we go. Okay, watching 1000 RPM, 900 to 1000. Let's lean for ground operations almost immediately. Check the oil pressures. So oil pressure's in the green and holding slightly high, but that's okay. The oil pressure is probably slightly high because it's so cold out, it's more viscous than it normally would be. And the temperature is very low, so we will monitor that. Vacuum pressure is okay, amps are holding okay.
Good 441, turn left heading to
It's a good start. Mixture lean for taxi. And that's the start checklist complete. So now, folks, we are ready for taxi. And we are expecting him to give us a taxi of...
Hotel, Roger, continue approach, call me back on the tower, frequency 133.850.
We're expecting him to give us to give us a taxi of Juliet Hotel, potentially Juliet Hotel, potentially cross runway 09er, Golf to the end, or potentially Foxtrot to the intersection here. So we'll see what he...
Land runway 09, wind 050 degrees 14 knots.
And Golf Foxtrot Romeo is ready for taxi.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Roger, taxi holding point Hotel X-ray runway 09, the QNH is 1029er, and report ready for departure.
Taxi Hotel X-ray for runway 09er, QNH 1029er, and we'll report ready for departure, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so he has
441 when ready, continue to
I believe Hotel X-ray is actually this one. Yeah. Let's just double check that on a Navigraph chart. Should have got this up and going beforehand, but you know, you can have way too many apps open at once. EGGD, which is here. Let's go taxi. Hotel. Hotel X-ray. There it is. It's actually the hold point. It's actually the hold point before the runway. Obviously right before the runway threshold. It's the official hold point there. And he's given me for takeoff runway 09er. So takeoff to the east. Okay, so he's given us that clearance. It's clean and simple. No issues there. So let's get the taxi checklist out. Pre-taxi nav lights. Let's go navs. Radios have been on and set. Altimeter, correction, not altimeter. Transponder is on standby. Default of 7,000.
Romeo, after departure, relief controlled airspace via the Bath Racecourse VRP, nod of altitude 2,000 feet VFR, squawk 5070.
We missed that VRP, not above 2,000 feet, squawk 5070, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Bath Racecourse.
The Bath Racecourse is where we depart your zone, Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you.
Yeah, that'll be leave control airspace, Bath Racecourse, correct.
Affirm. So he's given me an update of Bath Racecourse. Yes, which is there. So let's add that in, and that updates our chart. That updates our flight plan. Okay. So 1029er, let's just double check that. 1029er is set, and we need to squawk 5070. So let's go 5070. Set on standby. And we're going to go up to not above 2,000 feet. Yes, so the barrow we've set at 1029er, and we want to be 2,000 feet. Okay.
55 itself, vacate left, taxi stand 29.
Okay, so we've done the taxi checklist. We're ready to go. Let's... yeah, so pre-taxi, the taxi area is clear. Okay, throttle apply smoothly and brakes check.
Station call is taken.
We might need a bit more oomph today.
So 420 Hotel Whiskey, Roger, transition is 6,000 here, so you need to be on flight level at that altitude.
Roger. Going down to flight level.
420 Hotel Whiskey, Yankee Vectors ILS, runway 12 at Cardiff.
Roger, we'll expect the ILS.
Runway 12.
Roger, 1.
.087 set on the bug, which is the
Speedbird 441, contact Cardiff radar with your heading 125.855. Bye-bye.
Contact Cardiff with heading 125.855. Speedbird 441.
Speedbird, crash November 420 Hotel Whiskey, fly heading 265.
Let's hold here. Okay, so run-up checklist. Brake set, fuel selector, both, mixture, rich, throttle 1800. Magnetos. Engine instruments, check. All looking good. Suction, good. Ammeter, good. Throttle, 700 RPM. And lean for ground ops again. So we're going to leave it at about 900. So that is that done. Before takeoff, flight instruments have been set. Radios and avionics have been set. Engine gauges have been checked. Mixture, set. Let's go full rich now. Seat belts and harnesses checked. Flaps as required. We have 1 notch of flaps. Trim set for takeoff. Set. Controls check. Door, windows, latches, brakes recheck. Good to go. Crossing hold line. Transponder needs to be on altitude. And Golf Foxtrot Romeo is ready to go when you are.
Stand by.
Yeah. This is the thing with ATC. I genuinely cannot see the...
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, sorry, I was on the phone to Cardiff then. Are you ready for departure?
A firm, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Roger, via Hotel X-ray, line up and wait, runway 09, back track is required.
Via Hotel X-ray, line up and wait 09er. I don't think I should need backtrack with the headwind today, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, in which case runway 09 clear takeoff, surface wind 050 degrees, 14 knots.
Clear takeoff, runway 09er, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
November 420 Hotel Whiskey, descend flight level 80.
Okay, crossing the hold line, let's go on altitude. And strobes on.
November 420 Hotel Whiskey, descend flight level 80. November 420 Hotel Whiskey, Bristol. November 420 Hotel Whiskey, descend flight level 80.
Down to flight level 8.
Okay, Okay, here we go. Smoothly increase throttle. Airspeed live. 50 knots. 60 knots. 60, 70 knots. And we're off. Decrab. And continue that climb. Flaps coming up. And let's just continue that climb.
Golf Victor, Charlie Charlie Bristol Radar, hello, basic service, Cotswold QNH 1028, report your intentions. Golf Charlie Charlie, roger, expect to transit the overhead via Clifton Suspension Bridge, not of altitude 2,000 feet, the Bristol QNH 1029.
So I just had to correct my audio there. It was a bit too loud. I couldn't hear if he had given me.
Charlie Charlie, remain outside control airspace, report operation in the suspension bridge. November 420 Hotel Whiskey, contact Cardiff Radar 125.855. Bye bye.
Over to Cardiff Radar 125.855.
So we're looking for the Bath Racecourse, which is just off of our 1 o'clock. So we're not going to go above 2,000 feet.
Golf
So,
Foxtrot Romeo, you still with me?
A firm.
Oh, you must just be below radar cover then.
Yeah, I'm on alt.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, call me back on the radar frequency 125.650.
125650 Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Bristol Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you, report Bath Racecourse.
We'll report Bath Racecourse Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Nice. Sorted. There we are. Trimmed out. And all is lovely with the world. Let's bring the engine back from redlining to 2500 RPM. Let's not absolutely thrash it. We've got a 41 knot headwind. That's horrendous. And let's just make sure we stick at 2,000, because there is a hill we're going over here, a ridge line. And this, I believe, that is stretched out before mine eyes, is Bristol. Ooh, look at that, look at that, look at that.
Golf, correction, Golf Charlie Charlie, fifth transit Bristol controlled airspace via the Clifton Suspension Bridge on your current track. Lot of altitude 2,000 feet, maintain VMC whilst in control.
Ah, that's the VRP, the Clifton Suspension Bridge he just mentioned.
Golf Charlie Charlie, I'm going to close now. Once you leave Bristol controlled airspace, you can call Cardiff on 125.8, correction 119.155, but squawk 7,000 in the meantime.
We got out just in time. So let's just have a look at our...
And Golf Foxtrot Romeo, I've got to close now. Cardiff's Lars probably won't stretch that far east, so it'll be a squawk 7,000 and your frequency change is approved.
Squawk 7,000 and frequency change approved. Thank you very much. Good evening, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, let's squawk 7,000. Like so, and frequency change approved, which is going to be 122.8. 122.8. There we go. 122.8. So we're going to be calling in the blind now on Unicom until we get into Gloucester, basically. And I do know that the racecourses are still on the far side of this airport, or this airfield or airstrip, which I know is down on my It's an old disused airstrip. I think it could be here or there, I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to see until I'm right on top of it. But the Bristol Racecourse. Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. So Echo Golf Yankee Foxtrot, that is the disused airfield I was talking about. And it's just to the east of that. So it's kind of on the river. If you see that river coming down there, it's that squiggly river there. So yeah, so it's gonna the Bristol Racecourse has got to be on the far side of, yeah, it's like up here or something. Whoop. It's gonna be a blustery day today, I believe. Okay, we don't need the taxi light or the landing light at this point, so let's turn those off. Actually, I should have turned on the pitot heat, my huge mistake. Should have turned that on. So essentially, we will fly to the aforementioned aerodrome. I think it's just about here. And once we get over there, we'll look for the racecourse. And then once we're at the racecourse, we will then go further towards the Chippenham VRP, which is it's a whole town, so we won't miss that. But I bet you my ground speed is horrendously slow here. Got a 38 knot headwind. I can't currently see my ground speed, but there we go. Yeah, we keep beeping because we're getting close to our cruise altitude, and the autopilot is notifying us of that fact. But we don't really need to do anything about that. As long as I'm below 2,000, I'm not breaking that altitude limit he asked for. To be fair, actually, if he's gone offline, I could climb technically to 4,000 and that wouldn't be an issue. Okay, so let's look again for this airfield. Yes, here we go. See the car park there? I think that's part of... Is that part of? Yes. Yes, that's part of the old airfield. Oh no, there it is. I think that's it. Yeah. That long... No? I am confused. This airfield really knows how to hide. Ah! There it is! That's faint, but there it is. Look at that. And then there's an old hangar there. That would have been it right there. It's an old strip, dirt strip, basically. Okay, so from here, we now know that the Bristol Racecourse is I think... Is it here? I think it's here on the hill. Yeah, actually. Pretty sure that's here on the hill. So let's fly over that and see what that is. So let's climb up to 2,000. We're at -2 Celsius here. It's a cold night in the UK. -2 at only 2,000 feet. So, but of course I changed the time of day to be daytime, just because I wanted to see something. So we're flying real world weather, but we're not flying real world time. Yeah, so this racecourse is, yeah, here it is. There's the racecourse. Pretty sure that's what that is. Yeah. That's the racecourse there. So, what I might do No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I was just thinking I could go... No, screw it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to engage the autopilot, even though I'm on VFR. So, on goes the autopilot. Roll control is engaged. Let's go heading hold. So now we've got heading hold, and... oh my goodness, how did we drop 500 feet in the space of nothing at all? That's crazy. Right, so let's go up to 2,000 feet. And arm 2,000. Okay, so we're climbing up to 2,000. And from here, we're going to Chippenham, which is pretty much still directly eastward. And once we see Chippenham, we'll then turn basically due north. Although we've got such a horrendous wind from the east, it'll probably push us off course if we turn straight due north. So I'll probably do a bit of preemptive tracking my nose into the wind to not get too crazy blown off course. Actually, yeah, from Bristol Racecourse, let's go up to 4,000 feet. Let's go up at a 500 feet per minute climb up to 4,000. And let's get the throttle up. Oh, I love the look. I love the look of the Cessna 172. It just looks so beautiful. Oh wow, look at that. Now that is a classic World War II aerodrome. Very, very classic. With 3 active runways on the top of a hill, so it's got good visibility, and it's got a nice strong wind that will flow over that field and create a nice headwind for aircraft to take off into, which will assist heavy bombers for takeoff. So that's probably an old bomber airfield. I just love the look of the trees and the forests. Ah, here we go. Where is this? This is Echo Golf Uniform Oscar, or Cologne. And Chippenham is beyond it. So Chippenham is going to be in this direction here. Oh no, there it is right there. There's Chippenham. So coming up through 3,000 feet just about, and let's just keep heading east. I like the sounds. Now that we're on Unicom, I'll just bring up the engine sounds here. There we go, 1,000 feet to go, and altitude is armed. Let's lean the engine slightly. Now we're up through 3,000. Oof, it is blustery. 43 knot headwind at the moment. Yeah, I feel us straining against that that strong headwind. Probably not going very fast on ground speed wise. I could probably have the GPSs tell us what we're doing ground speed wise, but I don't know how to use them, and I don't like them. It's the user interface, really. It's the way the buttons are designed. They're not intuitive, and because these style of GPSs I have no time for in my personal flight simming, I've never really learnt it. So the GTN 750, of course, is completely different because it's highly intuitive and it's a touchscreen. So it's completely different than something like this. That's 4,000. Okay, so now we're at 4,000. Let's come back to 2,500 again. Let's cruise at 2,500, and Chippenham is right off the nose, just here. So and hopefully by the time we get to Gloucester, oh please don't tell me Gloucester's going to go offline as well. Gloucester's gone offline as well. Of course it has. No, it hasn't. No, sorry, it was just the page was just refreshing. Whew. Okay. That's good. Okay, Gloucester's not going offline. And what have we got going on? Let's see. Okay, so Gloucester is 128,555. So let's see if we can set that on standby. That's 128.5. Oh no. Oh dang it. Ah. I don't think I can set that. So if I can't set 128.555, I will just have to open up a personal chat with him. Open private chat. Right. I'm going to send that and see what he says. Okay, so we're coming up to our VRP. And we're getting ready for our turn. Our turn is going to be due north to Aston Down Airfield, which is Echo Golf Charlie Romeo. And that's going to be about 14 nautical miles to the north. But like we say, because of our 42 knot headwind, we're probably going to be heading due northeast. So... So, right, let's start that turn. Let's give ourselves something like that first, and see how horrendous our crosswind is, or our crosswind trail. Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's really bad, actually. That's very bad. Let's just pull that in slightly, like so. Oh my goodness! So we're doing 90. We're doing about 90 knots ground speed. Okay, so oh, hello. There is an aircraft. So we've done our northerly turn, and Aston Down airfield is going to be up to the north, which is in this direction, and we've just got to spot it. It's going to be up here. Now, there's the River Severn. On a clear day, you can see from up here the River Severn coming all the way along here. What is this motorway we're passing? Oh, this is the M4. This is the M4 we're passing right now. Okay. And what can I see to the east? Ah, that I believe is that's the airbase. What's it called? Lidham Airbase, I believe. Right there. And he's going directly over the top of me. Try not to get hit by a glider. Nice. Got a sense of humor. Okay, so, like I say, so we've just passed the M4 going north, so that puts me, I know where I am on the chart. If I was watching a chart that was physical, that didn't have a moving map on it, or a moving icon. Of course, we could always glance at our cheat sheet here, so I suppose it doesn't really signify that I'm cheating by looking at vPilot for my position, since I technically have a GTN Garmin in the aircraft. But ideally, I want a Cessna where I don't have any of that crap. I just have complete steam gauges. So until I get the A2A Simulations Cessna 172 into Microsoft Flight Simulator, I won't really be able to have that purist feel. Yeah, I say that tongue-in-cheek, of course, but yeah. So that circle on the map, I believe, is going to be Aston Down, which is Echo Golf Charlie Romeo. And that's how much of an offset we're flying. Oh no, there it is. Echo Golf Charlie Romeo, that's where we're heading. And that's a disused airfield as far as I'm aware, and he just mentioned gliders, so I'm guessing there's going to be a ton of gliders in the area, so I do need to watch out. I am up at 4,000 feet though, so hopefully they'll see me coming and be below me, but we'll see. Excuse me. So, before we get to Gloucester, I would like to pull up the Guide to Flying.pdf from the Gloucester Airfield website. So this is real world stuff, and it's showing us the patterns for a standard overhead join. If we're coming directly from the south, it depends if it's a left or a right circuit and what runway. I'm assuming it's going to be runway 08. And it's giving me some information here. The overhead join is at 2000 QFE, and then you descend on the dead side to the circuit, which is 1000 QFE. So there's that. And also, the courtesy of Kicks VFR Club, we're coming in on VRP Delta, I believe, no, Echo, which is Stroud Airport. No, Aston Down Airport. There we go, disused Air Force Base. And we're coming in from there, so there's that. So an overhead join is essentially you fly directly overhead the airfield to observe the traffic, and as you do so, on the opposite side from the circuit, where there is not supposed to be any other aircraft, it's safe to descend to the circuit altitude, and then you feed yourself into the downwind by flying back across the threshold at the correct altitude, and I guess you could say it's a relatively old-fashioned VFR maneuver that they don't really use these days as much as they would back in the old days. But of course, you know, with a lot more aircraft, I suppose a lot more general aviation aircraft having GPSs and TCAS and all sorts of, you know, modern shizzle, overhead joins are less and less a thing of the past. But it's good to practice them. What dost thou, my eyes see? There we go. Actually, now I'm looking at it, I can appreciate why gliders would like that. That is a long, straight runway, and it looks like it's quite exposed to any wind currents in this area. So I will call Gloucester now. So it says, so you can type .com1 2555. .com1 128.555 128.555. Yo, check that. Gloucester frequency, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is with you, 4,000 feet, just passing over Aston Down Airfield. Intentions are inbound for an overhead join and a touch and go, and then outbound via the northwest, VFR, a Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Gloucester approach, hello. Squawk 3571 and basic service.
Squawk 3571 and basic service, Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thank you. 3571. Set, and let's just turn him up and turn my engine down again. There we go. Okay, so from here we're passing overhead Aston Down, we should then be looking for Gloucester Airport, which there's the Severn River. It's going to be, I believe, actually that could just be it right there at the end of my cursor. So I will tweak my heading hold slightly, and but again we are flying such a horrendous off track because of the crosswind. We're actually heading in this direction, not where our nose is pointing. That's a nice looking little disused airfield there. See, this is all the things you begin to appreciate as a VFR pilot that you never...
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, I've got a new squawk feed 4531.
New squawk 4531, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, thanks. This is runway 09, left-hand circuit, report overhead.
Runway 09, left-hand circuits will report overhead, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. 4531. 4531, set. Okay, so he's given us our overhead join instruction of reporting overhead. It is going to be 09er runway and a left-hand circuit. So we will be approaching from the dead side. We'll be approaching from the dead side over the runway threshold, reporting overhead, and then he will say, he'll probably tell us to report dead side. Then we basically fly out slightly, turn around to 180 degrees, come back, and as we pass back over the threshold, we descend 1,000 feet to 1,000 feet AGL. So what I'm going to do now is actually, let me just go to, he hasn't given me any climb or descend instructions yet, but I'm going to go to the EGJJ ATIS and grab his ATIS. His ATIS is Information Quebec. It is surface wind is 020, 12 knots, cav OK, temperature +1, dew point -4, QNH 1032. QFE 1029. QFE 1029, which is very important. Upon first contact, Gloucester, readback altimeter setting in use. So we are 1029, in fact, we are QFE, which is helpful, because we want to be 2000 QFE. Now, I'm slightly dodgy on these procedures. In fact, trying to make out the airfield from here. Yep, there's the airfield right there. Okay. So there's the airfield. And what I want to do is I want to descend to 2,000 feet AGL for the overhead join. So I will ask him about that. Gloucester approach, Golf Foxtrot Romeo here. Would it be possible that we could descend to 2,000 feet AGL for the overhead join?
Golf Fox Romeo, affirm that's approved.
Thank you. Beginning descent to 2,000 feet AGL on the QFE of 1029er, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so we've got that approved. Let's go down to altitude. Let's go down to... and let's arm that. So now we're coming down to 2,000 feet AGL.
And Golf Fox Romeo, I'm afraid I have to close up for dinner now, so poor timing. So monitoring can come 162.8. Good evening.
No worries, thanks for ATC, and 122.8 for Golf Fox Romeo. Have a good dinner.
Cheers.
Ah, that's a shame, but there we go. So let's go 122.8, which, did we just change that to 122.8? How do I... oh, okay, so now I go .com11222.800. Oh yeah, there we go. That's kind of weird, but there we go. Okay, so I will just call on Unicom what my intentions are and where I am and what I'm doing, which shouldn't be a problem. So we do have one aircraft on the ground currently, 1,000 feet to go. 09er is our runway, our active runway. So the active runway there, the threshold is on the left-hand side. So let's just bring the aircraft heading slightly around. And we're coming down through 3,000 feet, so let's go mixture rich. Let's have a look at our checklists here. The entry downwind checklist, fuel selector should be on both. Mixture is full rich, throttle as required, landing lights and strobes as required. So let's get the landing lights on, and the taxi light we will not have on quite this yet. Let's turn a bit further left so that we're actually going overhead that threshold there. You notice I am using the autopilot, which is totally fine to do. There's nothing wrong with using the autopilot when you're flying VFR, but you just shouldn't be following any magenta lines. You should have your primary source of navigational input is your own two eyeballs looking out the front window and looking at things on the ground that you are visually navigating by. I'm visually navigating with my own two eyes by looking at that runway and saying, okay, I want to be overhead that runway threshold. Let's not stall. That wouldn't be a good idea. So we will continue our entry downwind check. Landing lights, ignition is on both, master switch is on, belts and harnesses checked. We didn't really do a descent checklist, which was basically fuel selector on both, power is required, mixture enriching, flight instruments set, engine gauges, monitor, which we are still all good. Okay, so we are going to make our call. Gloucester traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is 2,000 feet AGL over the 09er threshold, flying out to the north to turn around and come back and then descend dead side for an entrance into the left hand correction. That didn't really go well. Because I haven't done this in so long, the phraseology is a little bit... So it's a left-hand circuit, which means that I can't descend at the moment. So I've flown out. I think it's like 30 seconds you fly out, or 60 seconds. I'm really bad at this. I should have... Okay, so about there, I'm going to turn to the right. 100%... 180 degrees, and then I am going to descend on the dead side, which is the right hand side of runway 09er, which is this side. So I'm going to descend dead side, I forgot that crosswind component. I don't need to actually. There's the traffic on the ground. Okay, in a second or two, we will announce that we are descending dead side. And Gloucester traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is descending dead side, runway 09er left-hand circuit. Go down to 1,000 feet AGL. And arm that. Okay. So in descending on the dead side, we then pass into the crosswind, the left crosswind, at the top of the runway, I believe. Okay, 1,500 feet in the turn. And then as we pass back again across the threshold, or across the center line, we then announce joining left crosswind, runway 09er. And again, that, I mean, it is a little bit confusing. I need to go away and study overhead joins and exactly how they look. Let's just keep that turn, that left-hand turn across here, so it's about kind of 90-degree angle. Okay. I heard Gatwick, so Gloucester traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is joining left-hand crosswind runway 09er. Okay. So now we are in the pattern, and any aircraft that were behind us would be coming off the upwind and coming across the crosswind and coming down towards us. I'm going to call that downwind. Gloucester traffic, Golf Foxtrot Romeo turning left downwind runway 09er. Okay, so this is where the beans start to hit the fan here. We've got a stiff tailwind here, which isn't helping. So let's take the autopilot out, like so. Gloucester traffic, Golf, Lima, India, Foxtrot, Romeo is turning left base, runway 09er. Okay, let's start to cut power. And because of that wind, I probably will just continue the turn, because by the time I get the nose around, I'll probably be on that center line. Okay, let's get taxi light on as well, and the fuel pump. There we go. Gloucester traffic, Golf, Foxtrot, Romeo is on final runway 09er. This will be a touch and go. Okay. Oof. Oh, that crosswind. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What on earth? I mean, yeah. Okay, thrust idle. Whoa! Okay, throttle full. Hold the center line, and up she comes. Whew! And gradually decrab the aircraft. Let's just gain a bit of airspeed out to that white line, and let's pull up the flaps. Goodness me. Oof. That's serious down low. Gloucester traffic, Golf Foxtrot Romeo turning left crosswind, runway 09er. There we go. Gloucester traffic, Golf Foxtrot Romeo turning left downwind, runway 09er. There's 1,000 feet. Let's just bring the propeller back now, and steady as she goes. Whew, that was a bit of a situation. Okay, so from here at the bottom of the downwind leg, we're just going to turn to the right, and we're going to head out to the north to Shobdon. So let's get the autopilot back on, and let's get heading, and let's just hold at let's just hold here at just about 1,000 feet. Whew. I would prefer to do that on a day where it was not quite so bad. Let's turn the taxi light off now, as we're about to leave the and Gloucester traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is leaving the circuit, heading due northwest and climbing to 4,000 feet, Gloucester traffic. Okay, so let's get the propeller back up, and let's climb up to our 4,000 feet cruise. And arm that. And there we go. So now, again, we're on heading hold. We are outbound from the circuit, climbing up to 4,000 feet. And we are going to now tune the Shobdon ADF, which is 426. So let's go 4, 26 and change frequency, and we should see our ADF needle come alive at some point in the near future. As long as we had that turned on, yep. We're probably not in the range yet, so I will just pause track IR there, like so, and we will head out roughly in this direction until we pick that up, and then we will fly directly inbound. And then, as far as I can see, we're just going to do a quiet flight back to Welshpool this afternoon. Sadly, there wasn't as much ATC online as I thought there was going to be. I mean, at the very beginning of the video, it's always the way on my channel, where you look and you think, right, this looks great, there's tons of ATC, let's get up in the sky, and by the time you're there, they all go offline. And that's just, yeah, it's a weekday in the UK, and people need to go and have dinner and go to bed, so that's understandable. I don't like the way my engine is redlining there. I'm actually going to bring that back to 2600 RPM. Despite the fact that I'm in the climb, I'm in the middle of doing the next PPL training series video, and I'm actually using the WB Sim Cessna 172 is going to be the feature aircraft of that series going forwards until A2A Simulations bring their Cessna 172 into Microsoft Flight Simulator, which of course is the de facto Cessna 172 in pretty much any flight sim. And once that comes into Microsoft Flight Simulator, that will again take the place of the WB Sim 172 going forwards. But until then, this is my stopgap, which is a respectable stopgap. I will not, I won't knock this. This is very nice. I've got the nice sounds. I've got the WB Sim mod. It's a lot better than the default, so I'm happy. Sorry, I mentioned that because actually part of the not the next one coming now, but the one after that, I've already written the script for it. It talks about the physics of climbing as one of the facets of the video, and I've found it really interesting. The forces acting upon the aircraft in flight when it comes to specifically the climb profile or the climb stage, and it's very interesting. And when you see the aerodynamics explained properly, and when you read it and research it and then try to tell others about it, it gets really interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to my ADF needle coming alive as we go outbound. But alas, I do not currently see it. I wonder if I've done it right. 246, that is correct. 1,000 feet to go, outcell. We'll just have to see. So folks, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to make a cut in the video here, because this is Unicom airspace. There's not much going on. I'm just going to climb up to 4,000 feet, and I'm going to get inbound to Shobdon, and I will come back to you in the video when we're in overhead Shobdon and turning up towards Welshpool. So I will see you in a bit. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back. We are back. Now, we're going to do a little bit of an interesting thing here. So, what we're using now on the ADF is a DME, which is Distance Measuring Equipment. That's what DME stands for. But, of course, it doesn't give us any range to the target. It only gives us a direct bearing. But we do have a DME of Welshpool. And we do know that the leg between Shobdon and Welshpool should be 25 nautical miles. So we're going to tune the DME of Welshpool, which is 115.95. So let's try and do that. Set. And then that should give us he hopes. That should give us... Now, I'm used to doing this in the A2A simulations, 172, but not so much this one, because it's a different radio stack. But basically, you would usually have a distance VOR, a nav1 or nav2 stack here. You don't have it here. That's the autopilot. That's the transponder. Just wondered, how am I going to get that frequency? How am I going to get that frequency? How am I going to get that DME? Ah, no, actually, lol. I should have just looked with my face. So I've now put 115.95, and it's now given me information. VOR, Welshpool, radial 153, and distance 32.4. So I know that my distance should be 25, not 34. So I've still got a little ways to go towards this Shobdon VRP, which I'm tracking due this way. I know that I'm being pushed off course quite aggressively, so I'm just going to turn to the right slightly. We should actually have the needle pointing to the left to be on track, and I don't really know where it is visually in the scenery. So I'm just basically flying off of the flying off of the DME from Welshpool. Interestingly, it gives me a radial. Now, there's no radial on Nav1 being shown, and we're on VLOC. So I don't know why it's giving me the radial, despite the fact that shouldn't. I mean, if I show you here, guys, if I zoom in, look at this. So this is what I'm, yeah, the DME, Welshpool DME. That's what I am tuned into right now. And there is the and then there is the ADF, or the NDB, non-directional beacon, which is what I will tune very soon. But it's the DME that I want to that I'm looking at. But that shouldn't give me a radial, despite the fact it's giving me rad of 156 inbound or outbound. No, coming inbound on the 156 or 157. So 28 nautical miles, a few more miles to go to Shobdon, and we're going, looks like we're bang on. Oh, actually, hello, yes, there's an airfield there. And actually, Shobdon is, yes, it is the airfield. There we go. So basically, we've now made it to Shobdon. Hooray. Yeah, you can see the bend of the ADF already, so let's just turn right, because it was slightly off to the right. So from here, we know that the direct course is about 337 to Welshpool from here. So what we're going to do is we're going to now tune that Welshpool NDB, which was 323. Like so. Frequency changed, and yeah, okay, it's not going to show yet. To be fair, there's probably a massive great mountain in the way. But we're gonna tune about 337. So 337, we need to fly a horrendous offset with this current wind. Still got like a 40 knot crosswind. So 337 is about there, and we're already flying easily 10. I'd say 10, within 10 to 15 degrees offset for that wind component, that crosswind component. One thing I would like to do on the channel is I would like to do videos and learn with you guys. That's just, I should have leaned my mixture a while back, but I've just done it now. What I would like to learn, guys, with you is some proper traditional navigation. I would like to learn how to do a what is it called? One of those, like, they're called computers, like speed computers. Let me Google it here and see if I can get you a picture. Aviation speed computer images. Yes. So this thing here, yeah, flight computer, an E6B flight computer. I want to learn how to use that. RAF Height and Airspeed Computer Mark 1. That just looks so cool. Yes, but this thing and this thing, I want to learn to use those too. Although I don't have any physical charts that I could use them with right now, I wonder if there's a computer, digital version of those, or maybe in concept we could learn how to use those. I can see Cardiff approaches on, or Cardiff radar, which is a kind of annoying. I could have flown into Cardiff radar and had full ATC this flight, but ah well. Anyway, so I'd like to learn how to use one of those. Double check that yep, that's working. I would like to learn how to use one of those, of course, and other interesting things. There's a lot of air law that comes as part of the theory for PPL and stuff, which I've got all the textbooks and course books. So I'm gonna see what I can find. But this is one thing about this aircraft. The WBSim mod hasn't given me 0.833 decimal tuning in this GTN 550. To be honest, I loved the A2A simulation Cessna 172, where it was a complete Bendix King stack with no GPS at all. You could just take the GPS away, and I loved that. And I wish I had that again. But alas, we've got to look at these things. I suppose I could teach myself how to use them, but I don't like them. I just don't like them. Anyway, we still don't have any ADF frequency from Welshpool, but we do have the inbound DME, which is 18 nautical miles. So if we just keep flying this heading, and that tracks down, we will get to Welshpool at some point. Yeah, you can see how the inbound radial has changed from the 150s to we're now just in the 160s. It means that we're drifting further to the south of the airfield as we approach, which, cross-checks our fact about the horrendous crosswind from the east is pushing us west. And as we get pushed to the west, which is to the left, that inbound radial, yeah, it's climbing in its number. It's going, 161, 162, as we're going, and due south of Welshpool is 180. So I don't think we'll make 180 by the time, we might, by the time we get there. But now, I know at 16 nautical miles, I know that we should be should be getting into the valleys here somewhere. I'm just trying to look to see if I've got any familiar terrain. I know Shawbury's out there somewhere on 2 o'clock, but that's way out there. I think Welshpool is nestled. See that mountain ridge there? I think it's just in there. But we'll know soon enough. Like I say, we're thundering down at 124 knots, so let's go and have a look at the METAR for Welshpool now, as we're close enough. It doesn't have an ATIS, sadly. Okay, so the METAR for Welshpool is showing us, oh my goodness, 1034, or 1034, overcast at 2400. Well, that's obviously incorrect. Asobo live weather for the win, because that's not right. Overcast, we're at 1 degrees. We technically wouldn't be able to really get in here. Well, we would. We just have to be below 2400 feet. So the wind is actually a dulcet 4 knots at 350, so it's going to be a 04 approach. We could join a right base, runway 04, as we come in from the south. And this kind of annoys me because, you know, if it's overcast at 2400 feet, we wouldn't see the ground. We just wouldn't even be seeing the ground right now. Now, where is the question? The ADF still hasn't popped up, even at 11 nautical miles out from the field, which makes me think I tuned it wrong. 323. No, I said it right. So that ADF frequency is just either stuck behind a hill and I can't see it, or yeah. I think, no, it's not this hill. I think that, see this big ridge here? I think that's the ridge that is on the right-hand side of the circuit. Or to the, I think that's the big ridge line to the east of the airfield, which actually matches visually because you have that rough terrain directly to the northwest of the airfield as well, which puts Welshpool Aerodrome nestled just down there towards the end of my cursor. So, having seen that, yep, okay, so the ADF has just come alive and it's pointing us directly off the nose, which visually matches with what we just said. So we're going to begin descending. I'm going to actually take off the autopilot and just fly manually from here. I'm just going to bring the engine down slightly. So what we're going to do, we might as well just do a straight in approach. It's a quiet day, there's not going to be anyone else in. Well, actually, no, yeah, that's right. Let's join a right base runway 04. Okay, so let's do the entry downwind check again. So fuel selector is on both tanks. Mixture, let's not go full rich yet because we're not down at 1,000 feet, but throttle as required, landing lights and strobes as required. Let's go no, that's fine at the moment. Ignition is on both, and master switch is on. Why would you have the master switch off in cruise or descent? I know not, thy liege. So, oh, I just love the scenery. Just love the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It just looks so good. Everywhere you look, it's just ortho. It's just real scenery everywhere you look. I had enough years staring at the Orbex regional packages. They're okay, they're fine, there's nothing wrong with them, and I was very thankful for them all those years. But looking at just looking at procedurally generated scenery that just has a height map and then has everything artificially kind of actually looking at the physical satellite imagery looks so much better than autogen. Right, anyway. So we know the QNH at the moment is 1034, which is horrendous. So let's go. (1034) set. Yep, and there's the airfield. I could just about see it. It's just there, I think. Yeah, there. I think it's just about there. But we're still being pushed horrendously by this wind. Still 30 knots at only 2,000 feet in the air. That's horrendous. Okay, so mixture is going rich now. I'm going to throttle back the engine. Still -3. Goodness me. I don't know why I haven't had any carb icing. Well, I mean, I've not hit any the moisture. That's the answer to that question. But if there was a touch of moisture, like overcast at 2,400 feet, like it should, I would be getting horrendous icing at this point. Okay, so I know that the Welshpool circuit, I believe it's. Oh, I'm just gonna. 1,500 feet. So the circuit height is 1,500 feet. So we're just coming down to it now. So Welshpool traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is entering a right-hand base leg for runway 04. Welshpool traffic. There we go. And there is the end of the runway. So actually, I'm going to continue that descent because that's a short final. Trim. Let's just turn up my engine sounds here so we get some good sounds on final. One notch of flaps. Welshpool traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is turning final runway 04. Welshpool traffic. Taxi light on. Another notch of flaps. Another windy approach. Here we go. Nice. I did just about hear the stall warning horn, I think, there. Now, I don't think I would like to... let's lean for ground operations. Landing lights off. And fuel pump can come off. And the pitot can come off. So I don't think I would like to go out on any windier days than that. I think that's pretty much my maximum for an aircraft like this. Ah, Welshpool. I do love Welshpool. I miss it so. I haven't flown here in quite a long time, I have to admit. Since leaving P3D and the aircraft add-ons and the scenery add-ons I had for that simulator. I haven't really come back here until I got this WB sim, and I installed a freeware scenery update for Welshpool, and here I am. Welshpool traffic, Golf Foxtrot Romeo has vacated runway 04. Welshpool traffic. Okay, I'm just going to swing around and we'll call it a day. Okay, into the wind. Parking brake on. Let's just idle. And let's go avionics off first. Let's go strobe off, nav, taxi, beacon is going off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go idle the throttle, and then cut the mixture, and wait for the prop to stop turning before you turn off the mags, because there might be some fuel left in those cylinders that's unfired. And then off goes the... Oh, actually, no, hang on. I need this so that I can turn on all these beautiful things. Right, done that. Let's turn that off and turn that off. So how many hours on the clock? 2.3 hours on the clock. Yeah. And this was the black WB Sim livery with the Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo reg. I didn't fly my Golf Bravo Kilo reg because someone else was flying it on VATSIM at the time. So anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. This has been a little bit longer of a video than the previous 172 video, but we had a bit of fun. We threw ourselves into Gloucester. I hope one day that we get some good ATC on a small airfield like Bristol or Gloucester, where I can do a whole video start to end without having ATC go offline. And whether we have to wait for an event on VATSIM for that to happen, or we just keep doing this and wait until we find it, I don't know. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. It's a kind of later evening now here for me in the UK, so I'm going to sign off and look forward to seeing you in a video soon.